Okay. So today is August 29th, 2016. I can't believe it's 2016. My name is Linda Conley, and this interview, this oral history project was made possible through the CPC funding that was received through the Historical Commission, so it's their project. The idea behind the oral history project is to collect Hopkinton memories. I think it's about rounding out the image of the town, a big picture of the town, and to give us perspective in kind of understanding how we got to where we are today. I think you need to understand something about the past to get a full picture of anything. So you are Edmund Aubrey Doyle, but you go by Aubrey. And how long did you teach in the town of Hopkinton?
38 years.
Wow, 38 years. What I want to do is I definitely want to hear about your years teaching, but I was very interested in learning about your father's experience in the town, going back even earlier, before your teaching days. So when did your parents come to Hopkinton?
1930.
They came in 1930, and where did they come from?
Framingham.
Were they born in Framingham?
My mother was, but my father was born in Prince Edward Island.
Okay. And what was your mother's name? And what was your father's name?
W. Aubrey Doyle was my father, and my mother's name was Julia Halloran.
Julia Howard?
Halloran.
Halloran? So they got the Irish behind them,
Oh,
huh?
it's
Yeah.
strictly Irish.
Yeah. Yeah. Were their parents from Ireland?
My mother's parents were, my father's weren't. My father's great-grandfather came to Prince Edward Island.
Okay. And your grandparents
My
were,
grandparents
yeah.
came right from Ireland.
Do you know where they came from in Ireland? What part?
Yeah, Galway, my grandmother came from. My grandfather came, I think, from Galway too.
Yeah, my husband, who's Connolly, we went to Galway. His ancestors come from Galway. Yeah, it's nice. It's a very pretty part of that country. So they came in 1930. Where did they live when they first settled here?
55 Elm Street.
Can you describe the house at all? Or
Yeah, it was very old. Limited plumbing,
Mm-hmm.
wood stove, and an oil stove in the dining room. That was the heating. That heated the house in the winter. No heat upstairs. It was finally torn down. My son bought it, and he wanted to refurbish it, but he couldn't. It was too far gone.
So there's not a house standing
No.
there anymore. Would
My
you?
son-
Yeah.
My son bought a piece of land, and he built a house on
Okay.
the land.
Okay.
But
So was that the original house? Was it a farmhouse or?
yeah,
Yeah. 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 There were farms in that part of the town, weren't there?
we had a farm.
Oh, it was a farm.
Oh yeah.
Well, tell us about the farm.
Well, my father had cows and chickens, ducks, geese, a pig every year, and a horse to do the plowing, the cutting the hay, and so forth. So,
So that's how you grew up. You grew up
oh
on
yeah,
it. Yeah.
I was a farmer when I grew up.
And as a child, were your responsibilities taking care of the animals?
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
All the way. Milk the cows, feed the chickens, whatever, slop the hogs, whatever had to be done,
Yeah.
we did it.
Do you remember neighbors on Elm Street at that
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, the Fairbankses were next door.
Say that again. The
Fairbankses.
Fairbanks,
Art Fairbanks.
Art Fairbanks.
Well, his grandfather, grandmother next door. Jerry Creedon was down the street. Fairbanks had cows. Jerry Creedon had cows. Then the Roaches on the end of the street had cows at one time, not when I was going. Then going up the street, another Fairbanks house, and then Mickey Maloney's house. Mickey Maloney was a little short guy who was in the circus, supposedly.
I've seen pictures of him. Yeah.
He used to drink quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then Peacock was next, and they had silver foxes and cows. And Lee Claflin had silver foxes and cows.
So Silver Foxy, I don't, being from.
My father had silver foxes too.
So you do it for their raising for their fur.
Yeah.
So who would buy the fur?
Oh, they take it to Boston, some of them. But when he started, they were very, very expensive.
Mhm.
But as time went on, people didn't have money and the price went way down, so he never made any money on it.
Yeah, maybe luxury items, women,
yeah.
so
Oh, yeah,
women's
they had-
stoles,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
He'd kneel on their heart so he didn't cut the skin, cut the fur off.
Very interesting. Yeah, so during the Depression, people don't have extra money for fur stoles, right? Yeah. And as far as the cows go, so is that for dairy, for milk?
For our own milk and butter. We'd raise calves from them and sell them for veal. We didn't peddle milk at all. Jerry Creedon peddled milk and meat. He was tax collector in town.
Jerry Creedon was, yeah.
He's where the condos are now. And the Elmwood School is right next to his land.
Wow,
In
very
fact, he used to
interesting.
cut the hay there for roaches and put it in his barn.
And then in town, there were dairy people too. I mean, I'm trying to think of.
There was Macbeth's up on Lumber Street where the Sportsman's Club is down.
Mhm.
And then there was Mann's Farm on South Street. And then Arenas had their farm. And Yeoman or Grassy had a farm. There were all kinds of farms. And then Woodville, Herman Lauder. And I think Whalen had a farm over there at one time. And Red Grinnell had a farm over there one time. Cornell's on North Street.
Mhm.
So there were all kinds of farms all over town.
And then a little town center.
Yeah.
So I want to picture what it looked like then. There's farms all over the place.
The town center hasn't changed. The tap is gone. They got a new building there.
Yeah.
There was a big house where Katz's parking lot is. Katz's, well, Woods grocery store.
When you say cats, you mean Hopkinton Drug?
Hopkins,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Woods' grocery store was there, part of what's now Hopkins Drive. And then there was a Five and Dime, Fry's garage was there. That's where all the oil got in the ground there. And then Brown and Smith was on the corner where the gas station is now.
Yeah, I have a lot of talk about Brown and Smiths. Everybody talks about
Yeah,
Brown and
the-
Smiths.
The post office was there. And then Brown and Smith moved up to the top of the hill.
Do you have memories of being a little boy and walking into town and, doing...
I remember going uptown with I don't think I walked up with my folks. I walked plenty when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
because I worked at Brown and Smith for quite a few years. So,
Any stories that you want to tell about your childhood in the town?
no, I can't think of
Yeah.
nothing exciting.
But generally speaking, a good thing to grow up on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, and your father, I thought this was really interesting. We were looking at old town reports in the 1930s during the Depression, and we found your father in here working, laying pipes for the water lines.
Yep. From Main Street to the Ashland line, and then from Grove Street to the Milford line.
As part of a WPA project?
Then they put the sidewalks in downtown.
So I looked that up. I was a history major, but it stands for the Works Progress Administration. So
Yeah.
that's during Roosevelt's time, and it was a
Yeah.
way to,
Put people to work.
yeah, and get things done at the same time. Infrastructure.
And they cleaned up all the hurricane of '38, too. That was about the end of it.
The end of the WPA.
Yeah, then '39 they faded out.
Yeah. Yeah.
While people were going to work on the war by that time, getting ready for the war.
Yeah. Yeah. And he laid the sidewalk too.
Yeah, on all Main Street, and Church Street,
Yeah.
I think Pleasant Street too. They lasted for years. I think some of them are still there.
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. And we found his name in the reports, and $1 here and $29 there. So
not
he
much
did,
money.
yeah, but enough to get by, and you've got the farm, he's got
Well,
the farm for,
He got more than the laborers, because he was the boss, but he didn't make much.
he's got a great mind for memory for names. Do you remember people that your dad worked with too?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
all the old timers. Peter Martin, Jack McDermott, Howard Cornell, he was Eddie Bob's uncle.
For the current Cornell,
Wow.
yeah, well, the,
Who just sold it to the other guy.
yes, yeah.
But, yeah, and Freddie Moran, Louise Mayer's father,
Oh, I know Louise Mayer, okay, yeah.
her father worked for him. Nelson Kempton, the big fat guy, he used to work for him. George Pierce worked for him for a while. George Pierce was a big fat man too.
So you're good with the names, I can't remember the names. Okay. So that's your dad, and that's the 30s, and you're just a little kid at that
Yeah.
time, and then the war happens.
He went to work at Draper's then, he was a guard over there, head of the nighttime guards.
That's Framingham, right?
No,
No?
Hopedale.
Hopedale.
Draper's was the biggest manufacturer of looms in the world at one time. And then they manufactured guns during the war, so they had to have security all the time.
And was there loom work? Were they doing something for World War II?
They were making guns for World War II.
Yeah, oh, okay, guns, yeah.
And they were still making some looms, I suppose, but basically they were making guns.
Wow. Okay, so there's the 40s. So when did you, so then you're growing up, and at what point did you, we talk about the 50s? What's happening in the 50s with you?
Well, 50, I went to college, to Brown University.
To Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you went to the schools here? Any stories about the schools when you were a little kid?
Well, we used to go from 8 to 1, and go home for lunch, and that was the end of it. But when I was real small, the bus came right to the door. Then we had to walk over down Claflin's Lane to West Main Street to get the bus. And then in the end, we went down to the end of Elm Street and got the bus to school, for high school.
Mm-hmm. So you went to the high school that's on
Main Street.
Main Street?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How many in your graduating class?
25,
25? What year was that?
1950.
1950? Yeah, there's probably some photographs. Well, we've got stuff here, plus you've given us photos. So then you go off to Brown, and did you come back to live? At what point did you return to come back to Hopkinton?
1956. I went to Brown, then I went to service for 2 years. Got married and came home and started teaching.
And tell us about teaching?
Well, the first few years I taught about everything. Latin, civics, algebra, science, whatever there was I had to teach. Then about 63, I started teaching all math. And I taught math.
And when you were at Brown, were you a math major?
I minored in math, I majored in economics.
Got some good brains here, huh? Yeah. Okay, 38 years, huh? And you were very heavily involved with the sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I coached football for 15 years, basketball for 7 or 8, and baseball for 15 or 16.
Are there years within that period of time that stand out, that were like really outstanding teams or outstanding years?
In 1963, we won the league title in 2018 in the last few minutes of the game against Medfield.
What sport was that?
Football.
Yeah.
And then there were some good teams through the years. Some good baseball teams and couple of good basketball teams.
Gee, I mean, that's so remarkable. Things are so different with people not staying in one place for very long, you know? And you collected information over the years about
Yeah.
all these teams. And then you went back and you did research on teams before your days, right?
Yeah, I've got a lot of information on the team.
Anything that you'd like to share with us? I mean,
Well, the
special,
stone throwers were something in the 30s.
something in the 30s?
They were undefeated for 3 or 4 years. You know, they played after the war for a while. I never played with them, but I knew guys that did.
That played with the stone throwers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some photographs here. Did you give us any photograph of the
I
stone
gave you
throwers too?
a photograph of the original stone thrower team.
Yeah.
But I've got pictures of other teams too. I've got pictures of most of the high school teams, high school football teams.
So you taught, and you played yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah? Did you play when you were at Brown?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Can you talk about maybe changes over the years in the schools?
Yeah, the classes got bigger. The parents got more vocal. When I started, if you said something to the kid, the parent would say, "He's right." By the time I was done, "No, you're right. He's not right."
Yeah, now they would come and maybe argue with you, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I taught for a little while, and I would have parents come and, tell me what I was doing wrong.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
They know all the answers.
yeah, it's very different. You taught your daughter too, I know that.
Yeah, I taught all my kids.
Yeah, what was that like?
They were just there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think probably they wouldn't do that anymore. They would make sure that your kid wasn't in your classroom, but.
Well, actually, there wasn't any. There was only one calculus class.
Right,
So
right.
I taught it. My kids took it.
Yeah, if they wanted to take calculus or if they needed to, they had to be with you.
So-
Yeah. Were they good in math?
Yeah. Yeah, Lisa was real good. She was outstanding.
Yeah.
She was valedictorian of her class.
Wow, quite the family.
I was too. I was valedictorian in my class, but that was only 25 kids.
Makes a difference when there's more, huh? Any stories about teaching? Anything that comes to mind? A good year or a bad year?
No, not really. They're all good years. First couple were tough, but after that it got pretty easy.
What, just getting used to the whole.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Teaching 6 subjects and then the study hall and trying to keep up with it all.
Yeah, and doing the prep for doing 6 different subjects? Yeah, yeah. I can imagine how difficult that would be, yeah.
So, but as it went along, it got easier. I'd set up my schedule during the summer. She'd type it up for me with all the assignments. I'd give it to them the first day, and they'd moan and groan.
Were you a tough teacher? Demanding?
Well, yeah, I made them do what they had to do, or they wouldn't get the grades.
And I know that, because my daughter graduated in 2007, and I know you had a grandson.
Brian,
Yeah, went through, so this is amazing to me, so how many generations coming through the schools then?
Well, that's 3.
Yeah, it's 3, yeah. And everybody doing pretty well.
Yeah, Brian working in New York on the stock market for, I don't know who he's working for, but some one of the companies down there.
Yeah, but also an athlete.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was captain of football and baseball at MIT, as well as in high
you
school.
must be very proud, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What else? What do you see for the direction that the town is taking now? Are you keeping an eye out on what's happening in?
Oh, I go around and watch all the building.
Yeah,
I marvel at the prices.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty. We're a little economy of our own here, housing market, huh? Yeah,
650,000 for a condo,
yeah, yeah.
and 550,000 over on Maspinock. They claim they can see Maspinock, all they can see is the swamp that goes with Maspinock.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a special place. But that must be very different for you, coming from your childhood and,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody sees change. I've seen change. I grew up in Auburndale, and I know, well, it's very expensive there now too, but not the amount of change that you've seen.
Well, back in right before the war, or right during the war, Hopkins was 2,450 people, Ashland was 2,500 people, and Holliston was 2,550 people. And Holliston and Ashland went up dramatically after that, after the war. Hopkins didn't, but then Hopkins all of a sudden caught up, probably passed both of them by now.
Yeah,
And they'll be even bigger when they get finished with legacy farms.
I know. It's really something, huh?
And then they're gonna have 200 homes over there on L Lumber Street. So I don't know how many people we'll have in town, but there'll be a good many more.
Yeah, well, I think we're up to 16,000 now.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I know it's over 15.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll keep growing.
A lot of concern about the, traffic, downtown areas. What was it like? What was it like when you were, 40s and 50s in terms of cars coming through?
There weren't many cars.
Yeah,
Every kid didn't have a car.
yeah,
If one or two kids in high school had cars, and they didn't drive them to school, because there was no parking anyway. So, the only ones that had cars were the fathers who went to work on them.
yeah. And people weren't passing through from, I guess now it's 495 onto 135. Yeah, and that seems like they're not coming to Hopkinton. They're just coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper to live in Upton, so they buy houses over there, and they come through Hopkins and go to work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, when GM was here, from 6 to 7, there'd be a lot of traffic in Hopkins, because they were going to work at GM. And then from 3 to 4, there'd be a lot because they were coming home from GM. Other than that, it wasn't too much. You didn't notice it.
Yeah, yeah. And Church Street, I love Church Street. It's still a pretty street.
Yeah.
How long have you lived on Church Street?
58 years.
58?
I will be 58 in December.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm very happy to talk to you. It was, that's a long stretch of time, and to work in the schools, you said 38 years, right? Yeah. Gail. That's okay. But no special stories, nothing funny that you want to share.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, as soon as we put the camera off, you'll remember. But
Well,
yeah, so I really appreciate that you talked with us. And so nothing. I know there'll be something when I put the camera off. These are fascinating. I really liked looking at that with you last week, seeing your father's name. Thank you very much for your time.
oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Charlene,
Yes.
we're ready.